The show has started.
You know, I didn't hear what you said. Okay, what you say? Hey, y'all, what's happening? Here we are for another night of poetic people fighting racism. And first of all, if you're watching this in replay, you can fast forward past this pre show where I talk to you and keep you busy till the show starts. We've got about 4 minutes before the show begins, so if you are watching in replay, you can fast forward past this spot and just get right into the show. But if you just love hearing my voice, stay right here and listen to me for approximately the next third, what, 3 minutes and 36 seconds. That's what it says. And we'll get into the show. But in the meantime, things you can do and things and the ways you can watch this show. So you can watch this show every other week, Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern at knowtoBeStill.com, and just click the podcast tab and you will be here live, because that is when this show is recorded live. And the reason we stress that the show is live, it actually is live. So when you watch the show at on Saturday nights Eastern, every other Saturday night Eastern, you can participate in the show. You can make comments via YouTube and Facebook. You can also watch the show right through knowtoBeStill.com and click the podcast tab. And also know that if for some reason you want to watch the show on Facebook and it's not there, that's okay. Sometimes Facebook has glitches because this is actually very technical. So if for some reason you don't see me there when I'm supposed to, all you have to do is go to knowtoBeStill.com and click the podcast tab, and you can watch the show and participate in the show live. Now, this show, Poetic People Fighting Racism, it is really wonderful, and I encourage audience participation. So all the comments you make via Facebook or YouTube, or better yet, if you come right into the show, and there's several ways you can do that. There will be a link on Facebook, and there should be a link on YouTube also where you can make comments. So you can just type your comments. But throughout the show, there will be a QR code that if you actually want to be seen and heard, all you have to do is click on that, not click on that, scan that QR code, and you can be in the show. Also, there'll be a link on Facebook and YouTube where you can click that link and it will bring you into the show where you can participate. We can hear you and see you. And it's very easy to do once you either click the link or you scan the QR code. There will be a prompt and you just follow the prompt and you will be in the show. Because this show especially is great when there is participation. Now, also this week, oh, look, I'm almost out of time. I talked for a while. So the show's going to be starting in about 10 seconds. So please stand by. Ooh, look, I am here, and I'm happy to see you, and I'm happy that you are here. So let's get into it. Welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. Now, I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C, the man about love, and I'm just trying to spread a little love with activism living inside me. So what in the world? What in the world can I do? Can we do? Can you do with just another online show? Let's see where we go when we know what we feel is real. Let's show how we deal with real discrimination. Let's show what we have with poetry. Poetry, poetry. Let's show how we live with real racism, taking our breath away while taking our lives away. Every day we wake, we take steps to make us better and stronger the longer we live with poetry, poetry, poetry. In our souls as we grow old and wise, 'cause we do grow wiser. Yes. This is why we're on this journey, 'cause we're seen as the others, not brothers and sisters. They got us playing twisters, just waiting for us to topple down, trying to keep us underground. But we keep rising. We keep rising and standing up for our rights, our rights, our rights. We already have. So let's do what we do with love, 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 and poetry, poetry, poetry. Every day, we can be the change we need to be, 'cause we are everyday people, creative, smart, and strong people. Poetic people fighting racism. We are. Poetic people fighting racism. That's you. That's me. We are. Poetic people fighting racism. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. Here we are for another episode of Poetic People Fighting Racism. And I believe this is episode number 7. Let's talk about freedom. Freedom. What is freedom? Now, this episode was spurred by an episode of I'm Right, I'm Right. And hopefully, a lot of you that are watching are fans of I'm Right, I'm Right. So we had a episode about freedom. Oh, no, I'm Right, I'm Right. Now, as you know, I'm Right, I'm Right is a show about relationships. And if you're in a relationship, so we were talking about freedom within a relationship. So that might be separate bank accounts, or whether you even feel free in your relationship, because in every relationship, not every relationship, but in some relationships, one person is more dominant than the other. One person wants to take charge and be the boss than the other. And they tend to roll over the other person. So the person that gets rolled over might not feel that they're truly free in their relationship, free to express themselves the way they want. But within society, and especially in the society we live in the United States of America, many people of color do not feel free. But that's what spurred this episode. So in this episode, I will do a poem about freedom, and it has a title of, what is the title? This poem is that I'm going to do tonight is Freedom of the Mind. Now, some of you that listen to the show on the regular know that the poems I do are from my latest manuscript, Living and Dying. But actually, this poem is from a manuscript I wrote probably, 18 years ago, maybe 19 years ago. And I wrote this poem, which is Freedom of the Mind. Now, I chose to use this poem because when I wrote it, I was in a certain state of mind. Okay? So when I was looking for a poem to do for this evening, I said, oh, gee, I know I have a poem I wrote that has to do with freedom. So when I started looking, and I didn't actually see a direct, well, actually are many direct references to freedom in my manuscript, Living and Dying, but none of them were going at what I was trying to convey tonight. Because tonight, I want us to be able to talk about all the different types of freedom. So I don't want to just talk about freedom from slavery. I don't just want to talk about freedom in persecution, with persecution if you're a persecuted person. But I also want to talk about freedom in your personal relationship. I want to talk about freedom within your job situation. I want to really talk about whatever freedom means to you in any situation. In any situation. Freedom can be in your romantic relationship. So this is what I want to talk about. So I'm really, really encouraging audience participation this evening. And if you want to talk to me and you really want to participate in the audience where we can hear and see you, and mind you, if you don't want to be seen, there's in the prompts, you'll see you don't want to turn on the camera, but you can scan that QR code right now with your phone, and it'll bring you into the show where you can speak and talk about the topic at hand, and whether you feel free. And however it is, it doesn't matter whether you're a person of color. It doesn't matter who you are, man, woman, gay, straight, LGBTQ. It doesn't matter. We're talking about freedom in general and what makes you feel free and why you don't feel free. So remember, scan that QR code that was up, or you can click the link on Facebook, and I believe there's one there on YouTube also. I don't have to talk about the blue and white eyes this evening because it is not in the poem. How about that? Okay, well, that is cool. So, let me look around. I got a whole bunch of stuff around me that I'm looking around, and monitors and stuff. So I don't think we have any comments at this point. Is that correct, Jill?
No comments, but you can welcome Bertha.
Oh, Bertha is here. Welcome, welcome, Bertha. How come I don't see Bertha?
She's on Facebook. She hasn't commented, but she's here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't see when people are just at Facebook, but don't comment. Okay. All right. Well, that is cool. So with that, let me get into this again. So the poem I'm doing tonight is called Freedom of the Mind. And mind you, when I wrote this poem, it was a good 18 years or more before this show. So now I'm going to do this poem. And this poem, when I wrote it, I wasn't necessarily speaking about freedom in this country. It's why it's entitled Freedom of the Mind. It was about setting your mind free. But as I read it again today, I realized that it applies to so much more and could mean much more, could be interpreted many different ways according to who read it or who heard it. So I'm going to cue up some music if I press the right button, and I'm going to get to it. Here we go. Time's about to stop and time's about to go. We don't know which way to go. Here in the doubts that pull us down. Here in freedom we don't really see. They hide in the shadows of the future seen in the past, the future shown in dreams. We don't understand. Until the past becomes future, until the future becomes past, never ask and it will be. With freedoms of the mind, you will see. Time's about to stop and time's about to go. We don't know which way to go here in the doubts that pull us down. We are burdened by a life that doesn't exist. Life is not what we think. Illusions blind us. We wander in darkness, thirsting for a drink. Lost in a void from beginning to end. Our ears feel the pain, our hearts don't see. Time's about to stop. Time's about to go. We don't know which way to go. Here in the doubts that pull us down, here in freedoms we don't really see. Illusions blind us from the secrets of time. Lost in the freedom of the mind. Time's about to stop and time's about to go. We don't know which way to go. Here in the doubts that pull us down. Here in freedom we don't really see. Time's about to stop. Time's about to go. We don't know which way to go. All right, that was it. Freedoms of the mind. And I must have done a good job on that one because my producer is smiling. All right. Whew. Okay. So, those of you that have been here know this is how the show goes. I'll read a poem. I will ask for comments or questions, anything to do with about the poem. And if we have no input, then I will kind of go through the poem. But this is actually a pretty short poem. And I want to remind you that this poem is not just about freedom in this country. It's about whether you feel free in your relationship, whether you feel free within your job, whether you feel free just as a living person on this earth. Jill, do you have a comment? Oh, you don't. Okay, I see what you were doing. I got you. I'm there. We're all good. We're all good. So I really want you all input because on I'm Right, all of you had a lot to say about freedoms. And actually, most of you addressed all of these different situations where you may not feel free or you felt that it needed to be addressed. Now, if you don't feel comfortable commenting during the show, we sure want you to comment afterwards. And I think I just remembered I was supposed to mention something. We have a poll. Let's see. We have a poll on YouTube community, and you can go there and comment under the community tab on this show also. So that's kind of new for us on YouTube. So remember, you can do that. So yes. So this show, I really did want some input from some of you, because we saw that people were very passionate about what is freedom to them individually. And it can mean something different to everyone. So like for me, freedom is freedom to be able to move to a community that I would like to move to without worrying. Okay. I don't want to have to worry. I don't even want to have not even for a second, not for 1 second, to have the thought that I'm going to meet some racism in the neighborhood I come to. I want to feel that wherever I move, that people would treat me just like another human being. Now, they don't have to like me. That's okay. But for a person to hate me or dislike me instantly because of the color of my skin, to me is insane. It's just insane. I have freckles. And for a person to say, hey, I hate you because you have freckles. Ridiculous. Most people would think that's ridiculous. So I feel the same way about a person that says, I hate you, or feels, I hate you because you have freckles. I hate you because your skin color is different than me. I hate you because you're Asian. I hate you because you're Mexican. I hate you because you're Russian. I hate you for all these different reasons that just don't make sense. It's ridiculous. Doesn't make sense. But some people have to put someone down so they can feel better about themselves. What's up with that? Which is true. Now, as most of you know, I will get into the poem that I recited this evening. But tonight, I think I'm going to do something a little different. I will go back to the poem. But right now, I would like to ask my producer, my lovely wife, Jill Cox Cordova. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that you kind of feel the way I do, that you part of you doesn't feel free or what is true freedom because people treat you a certain way or make assumptions because of the color of your skin. They make assumptions of your intelligence. They make assumptions of who you are because of the color of your skin. So let's take that as a given. But what other things give you the feeling of not truly being free?
I feel like this is payback for something, but I don't know what. But
This is not. This is not because people do love to hear your voice.
no, I think that's just you. But I will answer the question.
It's not just me.
So everyone who knows me, and even people who don't know me that well, they know I care about words. Words
Yes.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's really heart-wrenching to me that I cannot express myself in certain circles and in certain circumstances. It's one of the reasons, however, that I know how to choose my words carefully, because I've always had to, based on who I'm around. So I don't have the freedom of speech that other Americans have, whether it's spoken or written. Sure, I can write whatever I want to, but
Yeah.
there are certain repercussions.
Now,
Sure, I can say whatever I want to,
yes.
but there are certain repercussions that people of other races do not have to worry about.
So Jill, you mentioned certain circles
Mm-hmm.
where you cannot express yourself the way.
Not freely. Now, there are times I do,
Yes.
but I pay the price.
Pay the price.
Yes.
What does pay the price mean?
Well, for many, I'll speak as a black woman. I'm not speaking for all black women.
You're not.
Because we
don't
are
you
not,
know?
we are
don't
not a
you-
monolith.
Don't you know? You speak for every black woman in this country.
No,
hey, it's
I do
on
not.
you. Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Every
So I will
black woman is exactly like you, Jill.
Nope.
And every black woman has the same education. And every black woman has experienced all the same things that you have in your life. Every black woman was born on December 14th. So they are exactly like you.
Exactly
so speak,
like me.
Speak for your sisters.
Well, I will speak from my own experiences, which, by the way, I know many other black women have experienced as well. It's just
Yes.
not all of us.
Okay.
But speaking for myself, I know what's going on. What is going on?
Trying to keep the mood light. Empathy, people. Empathy.
Oh,
It says
okay.
empathy.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I know that I can say things, and I do sometimes.
Yes.
But the first time I speak up about, and it's not a perception, wrongdoings. It's not a perception. It is just wrong.
Wrongdoings in the workplace, wrongdoings in...
Let's say the workplace. Let's say the workplace.
Okay.
That's the easiest.
Okay.
If I speak up about that, and you for whatever reason you think that I shouldn't, or you've never witnessed my doing that, I'm instantly labeled
As...
radical, a troublemaker, angry. And by the way, anytime
Doggone angry black women.
Anytime someone-
Watch out for them.
anytime someone has told me that I'm an angry black woman to my face,
Yes.
you know what my response is?
Kiss my behind.
No, that would be
That
you.
would-
that's well, you
No,
don't
that
even
would
say
be
behind.
you. Because I would
I
have
don't-
said kiss my ass. But you would
But I
have said
don't-
kiss my behind.
I've never
wouldn't say
said
that?
I wouldn't say that either.
Okay.
No, I've always said, yes, I am angry and I have every reason to be.
Ah.
And it scares them even more.
Oh.
And guess what? I'm at a point in my life where I don't care that I've made you uncomfortable. I'll let you sit in that for a bit.
You know why? You know why? When you say you're at a point in your life, now, they say that as people get older, they will say whatever.
Yes.
But I don't think that's the case.
For many of us, it is.
Yes, but in your case, I don't think that's the case.
Oh, what do you think it is?
I think the case is that, you know what? You, me, many people of color in this country, we get tired.
Oh, I've been tired for a while now.
We're tiptoeing every day.
Yes.
Every day we're tiptoeing. Which battles do we take?
Yes.
Do I
It's
stand
an
up for
instant
this?
decision.
Or do I? Yes, and we have to make these
Yes.
snap
It's probably
judgments.
another reason why I was a good producer. I could think on my feet quite
Yes.
quickly.
But
Still can.
that is very stressful.
It is.
And
then-
as people of color in this country, we will act strong. We are strong, but we have to keep on this face. You all remember the saying, "Never let them see you cry." Remember that saying?
I think it's sweat.
Yes, but it's also never let them see you cry.
Yes.
If you allow, and I know some people are, well, who are them? I will just say,
You should do a show about
them,
that.
Actually, I'm going to write that
Yes,
down.
you should do a show
right
on them.
now.
On that, them.
Who are I am writing this down.
Isn't there a Jordan Peele series? Is it called Them or They? I think it's called Them.
Them. It's called them.
Yes.
But this is Who Are They?
Okay.
So I didn't steal it.
Okay. We'll tell Jordan not to come for you.
That's right. So we can't let them.
See?
But the title of that show is going to be Who Are They?
Okay.
It's going to answer that question. So, but never let them see you cry. Oh, see, and I'm really actually, now that I'm saying this on the show live, I'm really happy that I'm saying that, because even within our race, it's kind of unspoken. Never let them see you cry. So we as people of color, through our day-to-day, no matter what they may do to us, we have to say to ourselves, we're tougher than that. We're stronger than that. We are not going to let them see they got to us. And it's got me wondering where that came from, how that was instilled in us. Because, my parents never told me that. I'm sure Jill's parents never told her that. I'm sure Jill's mother never told her that. I'm sure that most of you that are here in this audience that are of color never had anyone in their family say, never let them see you cry. But it's in our DNA. No matter how hard they try to break us, we don't let them see us cry. They can whip us. They can beat us. They can take our jobs away. They can kill our families. But yet, we don't let them see that it got to us. We don't let them see that it got to us.
I would say that's true of women. They don't have to be women of color. I would say that's
That is true.
true
That
of
is
women.
that is true. And but that's also part of my
Someone along the way made us and women feel that that's a sign of weakness.
people that are persecuted simply because of their race or their color or their sex or because they're any part of LGBTQ. No, don't let them see they got to us.
Have you ever? Because I have. And guess
I
what? It didn't stop.
That's right. It only makes them feel better. But I was listening to a radio show where people part of the LGBTQ community were talking about all the abuses that they would have to undergo on a daily basis in the street. They're just trying to go to work. And the things that people would say and do. And yet, they had to turn the other cheek. They just stayed quiet. Even if it hurt them, they stay quiet because that's their strength. The more we allow them to see that they can hurt us, the happier they are. But we're not going to give them that. This is why this show is here. This is why I'm always smiling. You know, I get from some of the people that would love to tear me down. Why are you so happy all the time? Why are you smiling all the time? Why are you so positive? Because I am good. I will try to live my life the way I'm supposed to. What are you doing? Are you walking around angry? Are you walking around trying to tear other people down because of their color? Are you? You don't sound happy to me. Be positive. Be loving. Have empathy for people. Yes, Jill.
I just wanted to bring to your attention that there's another poet in the audience.
I love poets, and I'm sorry.
She hasn't said that she's wants to speak. I just noticed her. Hi, Melanie. But
this is
not the Melanie.
different Melanie?
Yes.
Hi, Melanie.
You met her though at Spalding. She was the commencement speaker of the spring MFA graduate. So she's a new graduate.
Melanie. I remember Melanie.
And she's a lovely, lovely poet. So
she's a great poet.
I'm trying not to
I don't
put her on the spot.
I don't know, Melanie. I'm speaking directly to you. I don't know if you remember, but I said it in front of you. I think I said it when I met you, that poets are the coolest people around. I'm sorry. Poets are cool. When you talk about writers, poets are the coolest. Okay, they are. You know, a poet can also be a novelist, and yes, that just makes them even cooler. But poets are cool. Yes, we are. Sorry, poet in the house. Poet in the house. Yeah. Okay. So,
Anyway, you should, yes,
hi,
welcome her to the
Melanie.
show.
Hi, Melanie. Yes, yes, yes. And welcome. I mean, really, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am happy that you are here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Well, you know what I haven't done this evening, Jill? And I
Say
said,
goodbye.
no, Jill is trying to end the show. And for those of you that
Oh my
don't know,
goodness. The show is 30 minutes.
I was just going to say, for those of you that don't know, usually, the show used to be an hour all the time, but now it's 30 minutes to an hour. Yes, yes, Jill. Yes, that's correct. It's 30 minutes to an hour. Now, so if it's a show, there's no input, no one wants to speak, and I've already gone through the poem, the key points of the poem, and all of that. And if it's 30 minutes then and there's nothing happening, I leave it at that.
Sweetheart, you have
But,
never done a 30-minute Poetic People Fighting Racism show. Ever. In 3 seasons.
I do not recall. So
there's video proof and audio proof.
Do not I'm being
I have
framed.
receipts.
It's a setup. It's a setup. I'm telling you, it's a setup. But what I haven't done, and I said that I would. Remember, I changed the order around a little bit this show, right? I changed it up a little bit, right? So usually after I do a poem, I'll go through the poem and talk about some of the key points. And I didn't do that. And I said I would get back to it. So this is me getting back to it. Okay. Melanie's all right with it. She's cool with it.
She hasn't said a word. You don't know.
But Jill, don't you know I'm a special person?
You are a special sweetheart. But I have the buttons. I could take you off the air right now. But I won't, because I'm a nice person too.
No, look, this poem is actually very short. Okay? This poem is it was less than 2 minutes. That's a short poem for me. And there's only a couple of things I want to go over in this poem. And that's because when I realized that when I wrote this poem, I was actually wrote it talking about making reference to my mind. And this poem actually was based on mental illness. Okay. But then when I was looking for a poem to do for this show tonight, and then the title was, about freedom. Let's talk about freedom. And I realized that this poem covered more things than just freedom of the mind, which is what the poem is called. So, and when I say mental illness, when I wrote this poem, I was severely depressed, severely clinically depressed. And for those of you that don't know, I was severely depressed most of my life. And I'm talking about from childhood till probably 10 years ago, or about 10 years ago. So I'm going to go through this a little differently, because it's not just about being free as a person in this country, as a person of color, but also about being free within your mind. So I kind of want to get into what my state of mind was then and maybe how it applies to things today. So the first line, time's about to stop and time's about to go. We don't know which way to go. Now, when you're a person suffering from severe depression, you do not know whether it's worth it to go on with life or whether it's just better to end it all, just to kill yourself. That's the state of mind I was in when I wrote this poem. But yet, the same kind of applies to when you are a person of color in this country, or you're a person from another country in this country, or if you're a person a part of the LGBTQ community. This country can pull you down so bad. And not only this country, but people around you can pull you down so badly that you don't know whether you can go on. So that's what that line was about, and it applies today. If you live in this country and you're prosecuted every day for who you are, that's a question that people will ask themselves. Is it worth it? Should I go on? So that's what that was about. Here, okay, we'll go down a few lines. Here in freedom. Now, when I did it in the poem tonight, I said, here in freedoms we don't really see. But the original line was, here in freedom we can't see. Now, if you're a person suffering from depression, you don't see any freedom at all. You don't see how you can set yourself free from all of these doubts and depression and having no reason to live. So that line I changed a little bit just to fit the show. But it still applies. It still applies both ways. Oh, now this next line, and I'm going to try to move on pretty quick because now I see that I could take a lot of time with this poem, but I'm going to move this on pretty quick. They hide in the shadows of the future. Now, who is they? They can be the doubts of whether I should continue my life. They can be the doubts of the people that try to tear people that are other down in this country. So it applies both ways. And like I said, I wrote this 18 years ago, probably more. So I will move on from that. Let's see. Let's go down to something that is interesting. Okay. We are burdened by a life that doesn't exist. Okay. We are burdened by a life that doesn't exist. So when we get into our own minds, and I've said this before, I've said this in the Soul Reader, the show, which I no longer do. But for those of you that don't know, I am a psychic natural born empath. Okay, so I did a show where I would do free readings for people. And I am more of an empath than a psychic, but both kind of run hand in hand. So we are burdened by a life that doesn't exist. We are harder on ourselves than anyone is to us. We think that other people are harder on us than ourselves. Oh, they're trying to do this to me. They're trying to do that to me. They're no, but or we think they're doing this and we think they're doing that. But in reality, we are the ones that are harder on ourselves than anyone else. So when I say we are burdened by a life that doesn't exist, in our minds, we create this perception of who we should be. And this perception is often perfection. And none of us are perfect. So which makes us harder on ourselves. We put a burden on ourselves. And that's what that line is about. So it goes, we are burdened by a life that doesn't exist. Life is not what we think. And it's not what we think. The things we think are important in life are probably not important in life. Love, family, people, our fellow human beings, our compassion, our empathy. These are the things that are important, not all the other crap. So whether we have a mental illness or not, the same still applies. The things we think are important are not. I say it often, lost souls everywhere we go. Most of us are lost. I'm laughing all of a sudden. You know why? I got a rap sign. If those of you that don't know what a rap sign is, that's a rap sign. That means get this show over with. I'm not going to say who did that. It's just me here in the studio by myself. I don't know where that came from, but who knows? Oh my goodness. I make myself laugh. Woo. Okay. Oh, excuse me, people. Excuse me. It's good to have a good hearty laugh that makes you choke in your own show. Oh my.
Are you okay? Would you like for me to take over? I can take over.
Okay, I'm back. I'm all composed. That was funny though. Okay, I'm gonna go through one more line in the poem, and then I'm going to close out the show. So, um, our ears feel the pain our hearts don't see. So this gets into sticks and stones, sticks and stones. You all know the saying. The things people say hurt. The horrible things people say hurt. We can try to say that it doesn't, but it does hurt. And so when I say our ears feel the pain, our hearts don't see. Well, let's just try and just say what I just said. You know, we hear it, try to act like, oh, that doesn't bother me. Sticks and stones, yeah. No, but it does. It does hurt our heart. It hurts our souls. And people don't want to admit it. But it does. And it's painful. And people don't want to admit it, but we should. You know what? That really hurt. But if you show it in anger, you show your pain in anger, that actually makes the person that said it happy. That's their joy. That's their happy place. So the statement, the line I wrote, is all true. But we just need to change it. We need to live differently. We need to change who we are and how we interact with people. That's what we need to do. That's what I'm trying to do with this show. Yeah, it's called Poetic People Fighting Racism, but it's really about learning to love one another, having a conversation. You know, I can get on here and I can talk. It's a gift I have. I can talk about this. I can write the poetry. I can have a conversation whether you interact with me or not. I would prefer that you did. But even if you don't, I can still do it. I won't just stare at the screen wondering what to say next. Because this is my mission. This is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do while I'm on this planet, whether I make money at it or not. And we all have a purpose on this earth while we're here. We're not here just trying to get what we can get until we die. There's a much bigger picture. And if you want to talk about it, just contact me. Just go to my website, knowtobestill.com. And you can reach me. All the information is there. So, Jill, I'm done. I'm still all choked up because you made me laugh so much. Okay, sorry I coughed in the mic. You all. That's how we say it in the South. Okay, so, let's get some things going. Look, remember. Come check out Know to Be Still. No, that's the wrong show. Wait, what show are we in? Yeah. Go to knowtoBeStill.com. Click the podcast tab to check out Poetic People Fighting Racism with me, Anthony Cordova, every other Saturday night at 9 p.m. And what is the date for the next show? That should be the 13th, I believe. 13th of July will be the next show at 9 p.m. So come on, check it out. Also, come on back to I'm Right, and that's every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can go to that show to jillcox.com, jillcoxcordova.com, and click on the podcast tab. You can watch it from there, and you can watch it from YouTube or Facebook along with my show. You can also watch those on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, look, I'm back. I'm so happy. Okay, so I'm back. So I guess I'm going to be saying bye, y'all. I love you all. Till next time. Thanks for watching. And for real, I really do love you all.